Hey guys, in this lesson we're going to talk a little bit about creating a proper MLA works cited page. Now I know that sounds super boring, and it is really boring. For that reason we're going to keep this lesson pretty short. There's another reason we're going to keep it short too, and that's because there's only so much I can tell you in a lesson that's really going to help you with making a works cited page. If I try and explain everything to you, you're just going to forget or you're going to fall asleep because it's so boring. And the important thing to remember is you don't need to know how to do this stuff off the top of your head. It's perfectly fine to use a style guide like the Purdue OWL or the actual MLA style guide to get your sources documented correctly. When I write a paper in MLA format, I don't know how to do it off the top of my head. I always look at the Purdue OWL to make sure I've got my works cited page done correctly, my in-text citations done correctly, and so on. So that's exactly what I expect you to do. No need to memorize this stuff. Just know how to use the tools that are at your disposal. So, I recommend Purdue OWL. All you got to do is go to Google and type in Purdue OWL MLA and it's going to come up. This is a website that Purdue University has put together to help you with all kinds of writing things, but we're going to use it in particular for MLA documentation. Now, when you're creating your works cited page, all you have to do when you're in the MLA formatting and style guide is look over here at the different types of sources. First of all, you can look and see the basic format of a works cited page. They tell you the basic rules. They tell you about how things have been updated for 2016. This is a key thing to remember. Every several years, MLA updates its format. I don't know why they do that exactly, probably so they can sell more style guides, but you need to make sure that you're using the most up-to-date format when you document your sources. So make sure that you're using MLA 2016, not 2009 or a previous edition. So basic information can be found here, and then they also have a sample paper. Take a look at this sample paper. Use it all the time to make sure your paper's set up correctly. It has the correct heading done the way that you're supposed to do. It has little annotations all throughout telling you what's going on and how to format your paper correctly. And if you scroll down to the last couple of pages, you can see what your works cited page should look like. You can get a feel for just the general look of it, and it has lots of details about exactly specifically what should be appearing on the page. So use this as a guide. Your works cited page should look like this when you're done. One of the easiest ways for me to tell if somebody has put some effort into their works cited page or not is by glancing at it, and I can tell in 1 second whether you've used a style guide or whether you've just tried to wing it. If your paper looks basically correct, like this one, you're 90% of the way there already. The rest of the 10% is just making sure all the little details are okay. So, how do you make sure the details are okay? Well, you go back and you look at the different types of sources. Say you've got a book that you need to document. You just click Books, and it gives you specific examples, if you have one author, more than one author, and so on. Plenty of examples of what you need to do. Say you've got a website, you go to electronic sources, and it gives you the details for what you need to include when you're documenting an electronic source. So basically any type of source you could need to find, even here under other common sources, like what have we got? Interviews, speeches, and so on. Pretty much anything you could need to find is going to appear somewhere on Purdue OWL, and if you can't find it on Purdue OWL, you can always Google it. Google, how do I cite this in MLA format? And an answer will probably come up. As long as it comes from a credible source, you're perfectly fine. Now, a note about using things like EasyBib, Citation Machine, Word's automatic works cited page generator. I don't have a problem with you using these things, but they lead to potential problems. When it generates your citation, it may do it correctly, it may not. When you move it, copy and paste it from the generator into your actual document, it may copy correctly, or it may lose some of the formatting. You may lose your italics, you may lose the indentation. Who knows what kind of problems can come up when you use one of those machines and then transfer the information into your actual document. So I recommend starting from scratch with Purdue OWL. It's easier that way, but if you really want to use Citation Machine, you need to double check it with Purdue OWL, because Purdue OWL is what I'm going to use to make sure you're doing it right. The excuse of, oh, but that's what Citation Machine came up with is not going to be a valid one. So double check your sources with Purdue OWL. Find the correct example, either here with the type of source you're using or looking at the example paper, and that should be all you need to create a correctly documented works cited page. If you have any questions about it, just let me know and I'm happy to help you out.